Hello and welcome to Chimish FM. My name is James and I'm joined in this episode of Cursory Conversation by the excellent co-host...
Me! You always make me feel so awkward, but I like the excellent, thank you. It's Tanya. How's it going? We're up to episode 11 now. I'm glad last week was episode 10.
Tanya, I have some follow-up. I was listening to the episode when I was editing it and I was like, does Tanya really know what satellite view is on maps?
Do you mean, do I not know what it is?
Yeah.
I never use it. Why?
But you know what it is?
It shows you pictures of the houses, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
You just seem very confused about what it was.
No, I just never
That's too technical for me.
Yeah, because you asked me why don't I do it on my phone. And I'm like, because it uses uses too much data, and B, my phone is always like, go to this setting to turn it on. I just can't be bothered. That's
okay.
So you listened back and you thought, what a dumbass. I need to ask her next time I see her. Thank you.
Well,
I feel like one loses.
I find it hard to believe you haven't stalked a boy by looking up his house and
oh my god,
looked in his house.
Actually, you know what? I haven't, but that's a brilliant idea. Like, I don't know why I haven't bothered to look and see the house before I got there. Like before I've gotten there, I've never done that.
You know, there's this thing called Street View as well in Google Maps.
Yeah, I've never done that though,
where
James.
you can actually see the front of the house, not just the top of the house.
To stalk a guy, I've never actually done that. So, can you not feed my stalker tendencies?
How are you anyway, Tanya?
How am I? I'm pretty good. What day is it? Tuesday? Yep. It's not
Recording this on what, the 13th of September?
Oh yes, on the 13th on a Tuesday. So it's a bit of a weird. Tuesday's a bit of a weird day.
I think we're in North Fremantle, looking over the Swan River.
You're the one who tagged us here to send me over this way. Yeah, we're trying to suss out what we're looking at though, because it's nighttime, so there's lights and stuff. But
we're looking
water.
Over to the other side of the river, which is probably, I don't know, there's a yacht club over there. There's lots of lights, which I think we're staring at.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. There's a sign that says help protect
I think
something.
The dark patch over there is where the cliffs that you can go jumping on, maybe. I don't know.
What? There's cliffs you can jump off?
You know, what are they called? Blackwater. It's a famous place in Perth. It's a rite of passage to jump off.
What? I've never done it.
Cliff jumping.
Never done it. I feel like I need to do this.
If you find the Instagram tag, you can just see hundreds of people just in bikinis jumping off cliffs.
Okay. I'm glad that's the first thing you notice in these. I mean, what else would they be jumping in? But I'm glad
I'm sure
that
guys in board shorts.
That's what you're looking for. You look up this hashtag to see the bikinis that are worn on the jump.
Well, that's just perfect summed up. It's like the most cliched Perth thing, isn't it?
What, this jumping off a rock thing?
Yeah.
But I've never heard of it.
Blackwall Reach? Maybe?
I've vaguely heard of it, but I didn't know it was a thing or what it is. So
I thought even south of the river kids would know what it was. Because it's technically south of the river, I think.
No, I don't. That's so... Oh, no, I need to do this now. Should make like a bucket list of things I haven't done in Perth.
Apparently there's caves on there. I think I went there as a kid and I remember doing some weird stuff on the caves.
What?
That was exciting.
Caves. Alrighty. Well, but how are you?
I'm alright.
Oh, that was a stellar response. I need to ask you a serious question.
Has someone changed about Facebook?
What?
Has something changed about Facebook?
I don't know. Has that?
Yeah, like today I got a message from someone, like it was a reply from one of my messages from like 5 years ago, another one from 2 years ago, came up in 3.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just coincidence or...
Wait, so you got a reply, did you say, from someone? Honestly, why does that make you think that something's changed on Facebook? This person just maybe wanted to...
No, it was 2 different people.
Oh. That's weird. Yeah, maybe. Unless you've posted something and did someone tag you in something recently? Or did you post something recently? I haven't seen anything.
No.
And then it's come up.
I very rarely ever put anything on Facebook.
Yeah, I don't know. And then it's come up on a thing and I don't know. I don't think they've changed anything. I heard a rumor that they were going to start notifying people when you screenshot the conversation in Messenger. So I've been too chicken to do it, and I've had really good conversations I wanted to screenshot and send to my friends. I'm one of those people. And I haven't been able to because I'm scared this new messenger thing is a thing. Like, you know, on you don't have Snapchat, but on Snapchat, when you screenshot, it says so-and-so screenshotted your picture.
All right.
Or the conversation. And I think they were looking at doing that to Messenger. I was like, you'd be screwed if you ever wanted to have like a conversation with someone and like record it. They'd know. But yeah.
I did wonder about that because, you know, that's the dumb thing about now. Instagram's just ripped off Snapchat.
Yes, I hate it.
And you can't save the photos.
It just takes away the special part of putting up that singular photo for people to see on Instagram. Like, you know, you edit it or whatever. It's a nice photo. And then, you know, you have the stupid Snapchat crap across the top.
Snapchat is the worst thing
I like
in the
it.
world.
I like it as
you
a
like
separate...
it because you have to go there. It's a pyramid scheme.
But no, but I don't like...
If you don't go there, you miss everyone's stories and they get deleted after a day. So you have to keep coming back. It's a scam.
It's not even the stories. It's just if someone sends me something funny. Like, I don't I prefer it when they send me like a Snapchat or something funny with the comment. Like that kind of thing. But I like it as a separate entity. I don't like it being attached to Instagram.
And I've heard, I don't really use it, and they may have changed this recently, but apparently you can't just import something into it. You have to actually record it within the app.
Actually, no, I think you can now. You can add to your story. You can add...
You can't send a message.
No, you can add it to your story and be like, oh, you can send it as a message but it comes up as a message, not as a like direct send thing. It's hard to explain. I'd have to show it to you. But like, you can send it. And now, yeah, you can add stuff to your story that's from weeks ago. You don't have to have taken it then and there.
It's actually damaging the world because maybe people don't know about that, but they're literally... There's going to be some amazing thing happen in the world, and that, you know, we had this period of time that we captured that asteroid falling on Russia because everyone had dash cams on their car and stuff like that. There's going to be something amazing happen, and everyone's going to be so busy trying to load up Snapchat and open it rather than just using the shortcut on the screen that goes direct to the camera and records in 4K video.
No,
that you're going to get these crappy quality things because like, oh, I'll get some Snapchat points or something. Oh.
No, I'm pretty sure that if something incredible was happening...
No, I've seen people do horrible things. And it's like, no, wait, we have to do that again because Snapchat hasn't loaded. I'm like, oh my God. I was literally on a film set and I'm just, this is the most unprofessional thing I've ever heard.
Well, I'm only using it at the moment because that's the only way I can take photos because my phone's too full. So, because it is lower in resolution, it takes the photo and I can save it. I just don't know how to I don't want to delete the photos of my phone. I don't know where they go when I told you I'm not technological. We can discuss this after. I need help, please. I don't know.
Just download Google Photos. I think they have like 15 gigs of free storage and you can just...
Is that free?
I think so. Or you can pay for iCloud Photos. It's like $1 and you get
more gig.
50 gigs.
I did hear about that, but I haven't connected to the iCloud.
You have to have an iCloud account to use an iPhone.
Yeah, but I don't you know how you can choose whether you send stuff to the cloud? I don't think I send stuff to the cloud.
Well, it's literally just a switch you flick.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know if I want to send stuff to the cloud.
Or just make sure you have a secure password.
I mean, not that anyone's going to go through my stuff, let's be real.
Well, anyone who has your password will get it.
Yes, I know, but no one's going to hack me and send my nudes out to everyone because I don't have any.
Why not?
Just thought I'd add that in there as a little disclaimer in case anybody tries to hack my iCloud. I have no nudes. Okay? There are no nudes on there. Don't take my iCloud hostage, please.
Do you know, though?
What?
A lot of people don't realise, but they do.
Don't know. I'd have to check. James, you're not helping.
I can help you with that.
No. Do you want to check for me? Thanks. Yeah. Just don't tell people how to hack, and then don't have a segment on how to hack into iClouds, please. That would not be good.
It's pretty simple. We just know that person's password.
Oh, well, yeah. That's...
At least now they've sent a thing that you get an email saying someone has logged in.
Yeah. But, okay.
But they used to didn't have that, and it was just scarily easy for someone to...
I just feel bad for celebrities, man. I do.
Why?
In that sense, the ones that obviously use iPhones and have been hacked for their nudes.
Right, but they're not hacked. They've just guessed the password. That's not really hacking.
What?
Or they've guessed their
I'm
secret
sure.
questions, their security questions, because the secret questions like, what was your first primary school? And you can look that up because it's a celebrity, because everyone's got trivia on celebrities.
Yeah, maybe, I guess so. But still, regardless, they've gone out of their way to invade their personal photographs.
Mm-hmm.
And because they're a celebrity, it's a wanted thing.
Commodity.
Yeah.
Well, at least they weren't sold to a magazine, were they? That's what it used to be. But now they're just distributed free for everyone.
Well, that's it, which is worse. And there's too many outlets.
Is it worse?
How do you get it put down?
No, it used to have Buy a Woman's Day and say, oh, Princess Diana's on the back of a boat with her.
Yeah, but then it's only Woman's Day and that's it.
Dog.
Whereas with this, it literally can go anywhere on anything on 10,000 different websites.
Yeah.
So how do you make sure that they're all deleted? It's never gone.
Well, you can't.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying.
So what do you think about the whole feminist thing that we shouldn't be teaching women to not take nudes because we should be teaching men to not distribute nudes?
What?
This is a whole argument that it's sexist to teach women to not take nudes or teach them the risks of it because...
Right. Okay. Well...
Because they're the victims. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not their fault.
Well, that's not...
We shouldn't be teaching prevention. We should be... Okay. I was going to get your opinion before I say anything.
Okay. So the whole thing is that they should be teaching prevention, to not take nudes in the first place? Is that what you mean?
No, they're saying you're not allowed to teach prevention because that's sexist.
Because that's sexist.
Because they're the victims.
But
it's like teaching women not to get sexually assaulted.
Yes.
Rather than teaching men to not sexually assault.
I just think that, trust me, I have feminist tendencies, but when it comes to stuff like that, you give them a warning if you, to build up the sensibility, not because... I wouldn't call it sexist to treat them, for them to be told that it's to not do it because of this. Giving them a warning to make them a sensible human being isn't a sexist action. Because, it's the same thing. When you educate men on what is sexual abuse, for example, like she said no, or that kind of stuff, it's still a warning to create sensible humans. So I don't think it's a sexist thing to be they're what's it called? Yeah, let's only tell women. And the same goes for men though too. You could tell men, don't take nudes, don't take photos of your penises because it could end up on the internet. Why would you not warn men either? I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, well, in that sense,
I mean, that's the point. The thing is that sure you can tell we can do a lot to try and reduce the number of bad people in the world by trying to teach people to be good. But in the digital world, all it takes is one bad person to put them out there and it goes everywhere.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But that's
so it's not
in any situation. All it takes is one bad person.
I don't think we're just going to go in a circle of saying, well, telling a person who's had their dudes sent around is saying that that's victim blaming. Well, it is, but it's kind of also a good lesson to other women or men to not do the same if they don't want it to happen. And then there's a whole argument of saying, well, who really cares? Do you know what I mean? If we were just in the jungle and the forest living, we'd probably be naked anyway.
Yeah.
We put too much of a taboo on this stuff. There's
That's
that whole
true.
argument.
Ugh. There's too many arguments for the sake of arguing, I think.
How did we get on this? Why you should have a good password.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have a good,
And
solid password.
and good security questions.
And then this doesn't happen. But, I forget my security questions and my password.
And so the temptation is to make them really simple and then other people can guess it.
Exactly. But, yeah, so, I don't know. I think people just like arguing for the sake of arguing in this world. Yeah, because then it kind of goes, okay, well then if you're playing to that argument where who cares, where, you know, making it taboo so people, you know, feel bad about it, whatever else. But then if you don't start telling people to, you know, be cautious of it or whatever, or that it's a bad thing to spread them, like you said, it only takes one person, and that's with us telling them that it's bad. Imagine if we don't say anything.
Yeah.
It just would snowball into 10 bad people, et cetera, you know. Yes. That's, you know, just moving away from that. I don't know why this popped into my head, but I was writing, like in my section on my phone where I write notes for this. It's called gibberish.
Yeah.
Go figure. But I've cleared the whole thing from last time so I could like start a new one. And as I typed it out, my phone wrote gibberish, like with a U, like the Kiwi version of gibberish. It was great. I found it really amusing.
As in that auto-corrected, or that was you accidentally typed that?
Yeah, I think I just accidentally typed it, so it didn't autocorrect.
Yeah.
So it was just like gibberish, like on the thing. And I was like, okay, the Kiwi version. Not to, you know, I'm sure it doesn't sound that way. I'm not trying to offend any Kiwis, but the way that it was spelt.
Tanya, what have you been consuming?
What have I been consuming? Well, I took a me day, not the weekend just gone, the weekend before. And, so up until that point, I hadn't had a day off in 7 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So it was getting pretty hectic. And I got sick again, and I was like, my body is telling me to take a rest. So, I had a me day, and I went to Les Moody Falls.
Mm-hmm.
I've been wanting. I just wanted to get out in the bush somewhere. So I went to Les Moody Falls and went into Freo for the day and just chilled out, and it was
on the same
awesome.
day.
Yeah, I couldn't even sleep in on my day off because I was so excited to have a day off and do things in my own time. Because people are like, "Oh, you've just come off of being sick." I was like, "Yeah, but I think that's why I don't want to just sit here all day and do nothing. The reason I get so frustrated is because I can't just do things."
Is it just me, or are there a lot of planes in the sky? Is something going on?
No, I feel like we just don't realise how many there are up there. You never really bother to look. No, it's
been
true.
freaking me out, and I feel like I was having like that Matrix glitch moment because I swear that exact plane had just flown over like 3 times since I've been sitting here.
Oh, really? Well, maybe it's trying to land. Yeah, who knows?
Sorry. Go
Jeez. So I went to Les Moody Falls. That was pretty. I've never been there. I couldn't sleep in, so I was like, got up, got dressed, went down there for a couple of hours, went into Freo, ate some food, walked around the markets, got some photos developed.
What day was it?
It was a Saturday.
Oh, okay, so it was like a...
Yeah, it was awesome. And then I just went to my friend's place and had some wine. It was cool. But yeah, needless to say, I felt a lot more refreshed that following week. It's amazing how that kind of just, you know, sitting there, and because it got to the point where people were like, oh, you know, can't you, like, don't you just do things to relax or don't do anything? I'm like, I did, but it got to the point where I was like, okay, this is my relaxing time between now and then. So I'd sit down to watch a show or read a book, and it felt like I was trying too hard to relax because I'd had to allocate it, and because that had been going on for weeks, I was like, no, I need to just be able to be like, I'm going to go do this, like, during the daytime. So yes, that was that.
So what, you're doing your art performance class, 5 days a week?
Still 5 days, not as full time as last year, but still 5 days. So about
and then
25
you're working
hours.
2 days in the weekend.
Yeah.
At like a money job.
Yes, yeah, money jobs. Actual 2 different jobs.
Yep.
One on Saturday, one on Sunday. I've got holidays in 2 weeks, I think. Well, a week and a half. So I can hold out until then now, but before then it was pretty, from the last break, I hadn't had a day off. So, yes. What else have I been consuming? I had some wood-fired pizza on Sunday night, which was great.
Homemade?
No. But I just love wood-fired pizza. In London, I was obsessed with it. There was this place that had like sourdough base. And it was just so good. And so my friend and I went and got some pizza, and we're eating, and the table next to me is this couple, right? So the waiter comes over and he's talking to them, and he's proper hitting on the girl. And I mean, it wasn't directly clear that they were a couple, I guess, but regardless, the guy and the girl there, you know, you would kind of assume that they're probably a couple. So you kind of, you know, chill out on the flirting. No, but this waiter was like staring at her and ignoring the mail and kept popping over. Like, and then the guy went to the bathroom and he's come over and asked for like, so my friend and I are observing this next to us because we just thought it was so interesting that the waiter was so upfront about it. Like every time he walked past, he'd like smile at him and yeah.
I have been in a situation, in a weird situation where, and it's probably happened to me more than once, but this was one particular situation which really freaked me out because I was pretty close to, I'll set up the situation. At a like a big party with unlimited alcohol. You know, one of those catered events where it's all you can drink.
Yeah.
And I will sometimes get a bit reckless on the dance floor.
Whoa.
And this was quite late.
Like reckless. I thought you were about to say reckless with the alcohol, not the dance floor. That's even better. Yes.
And there was this another woman there who was also getting pretty reckless on the dance floor. So we sort of had to, and everyone else was fairly straight. So
you had
we
to
had
get a room or like what?
Yeah, we had to get a corner of a dance floor to be reckless together.
Yeah.
And by reckless, I mean just, you know, I just happened to, you know, we were just in a circle and, you know, I span around. She was like, oh my God, I'm going to go with this. And she just like literally would just jump on me.
Start doing lifts like that you prepared earlier.
And she was like, not a small woman.
Oh, okay.
Not.
She probably thought you were
not
strong.
As small as in she's, you know, she's not. She was close to 6 foot tall, not like a 5 foot petite woman that you can just pick up and knock about. And things got kind of crazy, and it's fun. Had a great time,
you
right?
just make it sound so sexual, but go on.
But but she was pushing the thing, and I would walk away because I'm like, oh, I'm a bit tired of this, and she would just not. She wouldn't let me go, and just kept me there.
She wouldn't have a bar of her. She wanted to keep reckless dancing with you in a corner.
Yeah, and she's very intense, and I'm like, well, this is on like Donkey Kong. But I was sitting there going,
this is on like hold up. What do you mean this is on like Donkey Kong? That meant you were going to take her to bed?
She's obsessed with me.
Yeah, but that meant that you were going to take her to bed? Like you were like, this is it. Well, this is on. This is happening. Is that what you meant?
No, I was terrified of the situation, but I'm just like, I can't get out of this. I'm stuck.
Okay, so she's...
But I was sitting there going, I'm pretty sure that this woman is married and her husband is here.
Right.
But I was like, I wasn't sure if it was her sister that was the one that was married.
Right.
Because the sister was there as well. And they look kind of similar. And I don't know her that well.
Was she wearing a wedding ring?
I should have checked that out.
How did you not? Oh my God. If you had the sense to think...
This was that late at night with a lot of alcohol involved.
True, I guess so. But if you have the sense to think, is she married? Then you genuinely look for a ring.
Yeah. And so eventually, because it was the catered function, they shut down. And so it's like, oh, let's keep going. And so she's dragging me to this car, and we get in, and sure enough, there's another guy there. And it was her husband.
Oh, okay. So she's tried to solicit you into a threesome? Is that what happened?
No, I don't think she was. I think she was that drunk that she didn't even realise what she was doing.
No, she was trying to get you for a threesome.
No way. I don't think so.
She took you to the car and was like,
I
shit,
think
my
she
husband.
was just anyway.
Anyway.
I heard back from one of her mutual friends that she later on, that rather than being embarrassed about it, she actually thought it was an amazing night and she wished, we partied together more often. I felt like I was her a brief fantasy away from her, because once you're married, you're stuck with that person for the rest of your life. And you know, I gave her a bit of romance for like an hour late on a Saturday night.
Aww.
You
Bit
know,
of
you get that
romance.
young romance, like you meet someone and hang out, but this is, you know, we never even got a chance to speak. It wasn't like we were having a DM. This was just on the dance floor.
You just felt the connection.
But I did feel really weird about this happening right in front of her husband.
Well, yeah. I mean, maybe he's just like, yeah, have fun, honey. Was she old?
She was probably in her mid-30s.
Oh, okay. I don't know then.
She had a kid. Anyway. How did we get onto this? Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
You were talking about a situation where, have you ever witnessed a situation where someone is cracking onto a couple? And that's what I was worried about. Is this guy just going to punch me? Because I'm literally, she's just like, has a firm grip of my hand.
Yeah.
You know, I can't go, because she's like, oh, well, we can go out. We can go keep kicking on into the night. And we can't stop. We've got to keep going.
And you were going to go.
I was pretty out of it. I did actually end up going with them to Northridge, but as soon as we got there, I just got to find the first cab and went home. Because I was about to pass on the street if I wasn't careful.
Party animal.
I'd been out all day. It was one of those days we had to get up at 7.
Yeah.
And work all day, and then you went out.
No, it's not good enough.
So you've been consuming couples that are being flirted. One member's been flirted.
That wasn't.
deliberately by a
that
waiter.
wasn't what I consumed. It just popped into my head that I thought of as a topic. But that came. Oh, that's right. It came from the fact that I was consuming pizza. That's right. What else have I eaten? I feel like I've eaten some good food this week. I'm struggling to. Because automatically I think of food. I had this conversation with someone the other day though. I have chocolate every day. Every day.
Okay.
Like a little, like I don't know.
Milk chocolate?
No, dark chocolate.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll have both, but that's not every day. But I'll have dark chocolate every day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, but someone was like, really? When I had this, I was like, yeah. But I was like, is that bad? I was like, I don't know, like a little bit, but every day. So, I don't know. I thought that was but
I mean, dark chocolate's not that much different than just having a teaspoon of sugar in your coffee.
I guess so. I don't have sugar in coffee, so I don't drink that much coffee. But I had because I clearly don't need it.
Well, it depends what type. If you're getting 60%, well, that's.
I ate like 90, so it's got like nothing in it. But I had this donut from the Freya markets when I had my me day.
Yeah.
And it was I think it was con bomboleo or something. It was like from the markets, and it's kind of a cross between a brioche and a donut. And it was this like homemade like conserve in like the jam donut. It was awesome. It was good. And yeah, I think that's if I'm not careful, I'll just go into all the ice cream I ate as well. So that's
all
fine.
right.
Yeah. Anyway, moving along. I went to see Suicide Squad.
Okay. That's still in cinemas.
Yeah, because we've had a conversation about it before, haven't we? Because you saw it, didn't you?
No, I saw Batman vs.
We did, but we talked about the reviews being terrible for Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And I was sad that it's has such a promising storyline, like when you hear about it.
Yeah.
So anyway, we were like, oh, we'll go, like, we've heard it's shit, but we kind of just want to see for ourselves. So we went. This was full price tickets too. We went.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's such a shame. It starts off really well, and then it just loses like the linkage that it had, and then so when it does have like the cheesy sort of lines that would normally be like would go with the kind of genre, because it's missing the kind of links, it just didn't work. It sounded way cheesier than it should have. I feel like they filmed a shitload of scenes for this film, and then they've cut a lot. And they just got really cut happy and didn't realize how much they cut. I feel like that kind of happened. But yeah, I mean, the characters and stuff were good, in the actual thing. But yeah, the characters were good. But
who was it directed by?
David Ayer, I think. And he wrote it as well. Whoever directed it also wrote it. so I'm not sure. I think it was David Ayer, something like that. Apparently he's a good director to work with, but I just don't know about about Suicide Squad itself. But yeah, so I did see it. I mean, it could have been better. I see what they mean. Still wasn't like the worst film I've ever seen, but yeah. Kind of one of those.
I'm just not going to go see any comic book movie until I actually show that they care for anything. Care about it more than the merchandise.
Oh yeah.
I feel like we had this amazing thing when Christopher Nolan was like, I'm going to do Batman. I was like, well, they're going to do more of this stuff, right? And just no one cared. No one saw that. I was like, yeah, let's do more of that stuff.
Yeah. Just too many. Yeah, we've had the conversation about the superheroes before, but yeah. Yeah, that's basically what I've been consuming. What about you?
Well, going back, I gave off a list of the movies that I saw at Melbourne International Film Festival last time.
Yeah.
So I managed to miss the actual one film that was good, or at least the one film that was like a surprise that I went and saw that I wouldn't have actually just seen in regular cinema, which was called Operation Avalanche. And this is a film that it's sort of set up kind of like a buddy comedy kind of film about these guys in the CIA who get the job of faking the moon landing, and but they're basically just the AV team inside, and normally they just put together like propaganda videos or like just video dossiers on things for other people. They never get to do anything exciting, and this it's sort of set up as like a comedy, but they actually have written it to the point where they've actually sat down and thought, okay, how would you actually fake the moon landings, like realistically? And they've sort of done that, like they've gone through that process. And I think you can get a lot of doubters about who think that they're like ridicule. Oh, the moon landings weren't fake. That would be ridiculous. There'd be, too many people would know, not enough. You wouldn't be able to keep it a secret from enough people. And basically, this shows you just exactly how few people would have to know about it to fake the moon landings.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it is a really sort of a fun film.
So it's a comedy.
Yeah, it is a comedy, but it's also, it's sort of done as like a filmed as if it is a documentary itself. It's like a found footage film, I guess. Do you know what I mean? Because you're watching the videos on how they did it, and it's kind of the idea that they're worried they're going to get killed off, so they're keeping a record of it so that they can, if someone threatens to kill them for knowing the secret that the moon landings were fake, that they can, they have this option to release this footage out into the world. And basically you're kind of watching that footage.
Who's in it?
It's all sort of unknown actors as far as I can remember.
That's an interesting concept. I watched because I have this thing about watching trailers. And I watched the trailer for Imperium a while ago. I think that's what it's called. With Daniel Radcliffe, about the neo-Nazis.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen it, the trailer?
Mm-hmm.
It looks really good. Anyway, I found it's got really good reviews. So I'm pretty keen to watch that online. Like proper 9 out of 10 reviews. So, Daniel Radcliffe keeps picking really good films for himself lately. Like different enough, but, so he can really kind of work his character magic in there as well. Yeah, and all different from each other. Like he did the rom-com. He had a rom-com one. What's the other one? Horns. Have you seen that?
No. Is it any good?
Yeah, go watch it. It's really good. It's a bit different because wasn't really how I thought it would go, because he kind of turns into the devil, which sounds...
Is that a spoiler?
No, because you can see that in the trailer. But
Yeah, but the trailer sometimes spoil the film.
so basically his girlfriend gets murdered and then he's getting blamed for it.
Yeah.
But he starts getting like the powers of the devil
Yeah.
kind of thing. And then so he goes around trying to use that to find out who actually killed her.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's really like it's a different way of looking at that way. But it was, well, I thought it was really interesting and quite good. Surprisingly good. Yeah, the Swiss Army Man, like Imperium. And they're all very different, and yeah, it's good. I enjoy his stuff.
You're just a big fan of the ex-Potter people. You're going on about Emma Watson's weird
yeah,
films.
I wasn't. Yeah, that's true, but only because I only watched it because I think she's pretty, to be honest. And then when I watched it, I was really impressed with the film. So yeah, I guess so. And I mean, Ron, who's the other Harry Potter one, I've seen him in a play.
All right.
In London, which was pretty good. But he was kind of played the same sort of character as in Harry Potter. But yeah. But those two.
I have been trying to go back and watch some of the older films that are in my blind spot. And a lot of the, that I've missed, classic films. And a lot of them are because they're on the Criterion Collection. And do you know what the Criterion Collection is?
No.
It's kind of like where they get sort of, classic old films and try and do a good restoration of them, and then they put them out on Blu-ray, and then they try and get either the people who created it or some of the people around it to do like director's commentaries, and they have really good, they actually care about it. Unlike the actual companies that made the films, they actually care about the film and try and put out the best possible version. So if you've got the Blu-ray Criterion Collection, you can live in confidence that you're watching the best version of that film that you can possibly do at home.
Okay.
But it's only out in America, so you have to not only do you have to buy the Blu-rays for America, but you have to have an American Blu-ray player because it's only it's region locked, and I've just never had the money to arrange that to watch these amazing films. But
is it expensive?
Yeah, because you have to pay $30 US for the Blu-ray, which would now with the Australian dollar so bad, it's probably like $60. They do have sales every now and then. I've got my on their website, I've got this wish list of all these films I would get if when there's a sale. But then when they haven't announced the sale, and I'm like, I didn't have enough money.
So what's it called again?
The Criterion Collection.
Cool. I have to go check it out.
And so I'm always hesitant to watch these classic old movies because the version on Netflix can be, or iTunes might not even be in high definition. They definitely won't have any special, a director's commentary or anything like that. Or they might be like the theatrical cut and not the director's cut of the film.
What's a film that you've seen that do you watch the director's commentary a lot?
I used to when I was growing up when DVDs were big, but they just never translated. They've just killed it off.
What was the best one that you saw? Like the best director commentary, like the most interesting?
I think Paul Thomas Anderson's were really great for Hard 8 / Sydney and Boogie Nights, but they're really hard to find, I think. And they're the ones that I remember the most. But there was a lot of good ones out there. And I think it's funny how that actually made me buy movies, and I would
really. And
now I'm like, I don't want to buy it. Why would I ever pay for a movie
without that on it?
So it's like I'll only ever watch it if on Netflix or. That would be
a good thing to do, is to go through your old DVD collection and just see how many of them have the director's commentary, because interesting to.
More than 60% of them had them on there. They had some commentary. They wouldn't always have like a really good one on, but they had something on there.
Yeah.
It might be by the actors, and some people find that funny with the actors chipping around, but I don't really care about them.
Yeah, whatever.
The great one is the one for Blood Simple by the Coen Brothers, if you ever get that one. I think that's quite a rare one. I had to import that DVD from America to get that commentary track, which is just another ridiculous thing. I want to pay these people money, and they're like, "Oh, we don't give a stop about you."
Don't you hate that?
That's the problem. It's because it's essentially a monopoly. Like, you can only get, there's one company that has the license to distribute that film in this country, and if they're like too lazy to just copy and paste the director's commentary from the American one, that they will just release it, and you're stuffed, and you have to like go out of your way to import it from another country.
Like you.
And that's why the Criterion is so special. But again, it don't get released.
It's too much money. It's too hard.
Yeah. So one film I watched was The Last Picture Show, and another one I watched, it keeps coming all the time, and I'd never seen it, was Dog Day Afternoon.
I've never heard of that.
You haven't heard of that?
No. Dog Day Afternoon.
Yeah. The Last Picture Show was directed by Peter Bogdanovich, and he was a guest on...
Bogdanovich. He's some sort of Yugoslav, yeah?
He was on Bret Easton Ellis' podcast, and he was talking about all his films, and one of the films I hadn't seen of his was The Last Picture Show, which is like his most famous film ever. And I'd just never seen it. And it's a black and white film, but it was made in 1971, like, so it was like...
Oh.
He wanted it to be.
Keep the vintage alive.
And I'm a big fan of black and white. And so I was like, wow, I can't believe I haven't seen
a black and white film in ages. I'd like to go and see one.
And yeah, so I really like that about it. And it's sort of set in like, I think it's set, 1950s, which is one of my favorite films. So I'm like, wow, this film is made for me.
Perfect.
And so I really enjoyed watching it. I didn't think it was ultimately that great. It was a bit of I felt the whole thing felt a bit wishy-washy, but yeah, it was still enjoyable.
Yeah.
And it has Sybil Shepherd when she was
young.
And
actually, why did I bring her up
insanely
the other day?
beautiful.
Oh, she was in Taxi.
Taxi Driver, yes. I watched that, rewatched that.
That was I was at my friend's place the other night, and I saw the end of it because it was on Foxtel. And because we were like, what is this?
Taxi Driver.
Yeah, sorry, Taxi Driver. And then like these people kept popping up, and I was like, oh my God, I'm like pretty sure that's Sybil Shepherd and this person and this. And yeah. I've actually never seen that movie in its entirety.
Ellen Burstyn was in it, and she's playing an older character. Like,
oh, she's
I'm so used to her seeing an old lady now. It was weird to see her still playing an old character.
I can't. Yeah, I remember seeing her in what's that one with Jared Leto? Dream for
Requiem of a Dream.
Yes, that's the one. That is some tripped out movie. It's good though, but I'd been warned before I watched it, so it wasn't as hectic when I watched it because I was like, okay, I'm ready. But still.
Yeah.
Have you read the book? On that?
Requiem for a Dream?
Yeah.
No, is it any good?
Oh, I've read parts of it. I couldn't really keep reading because it's so, it's written so much like his mind on heroin.
Yeah.
So some of it doesn't make sense, but it doesn't. Yeah. It's not like narrated. It's just there's a log, blah blah. Like it's it's strange. But I mean, obviously that reflects the film. But yeah, I couldn't read it for too long.
Yeah. Dog Day Afternoon, which was actually really good, which is no surprise. It's a classic movie, and I'm only just finally seeing it. Now,
well, classic. I don't know about it, so I don't think it.
Directed by Sidney Lumet and Al Pacino. It's one of his big roles when he was young.
Is he handsome?
He's kind of like a strung out ex-army guy.
Okay.
And there's plenty of him doing his thing. Quite good. It's about a guy who robs a bank. And it's based on a true story. And of course, as soon as the film finished, I opened the Wikipedia page, and it's actually seems to be remarkably accurate to the true story. Normally, like Hollywood films, they don't even get anything right. And even the guy who it was about sort of said that it's 30% accurate in terms of the plot and the characters were sort of really well portrayed.
Yeah.
I watched this TV show called Younger. Have you heard about this?
Who's in it?
The only person I recognised was Hilary Duff.
Oh, actually, I'd heard of her only because she's in it. Yeah, I hear it's meant to be pretty good.
Yeah, it's about a woman who's like 38 or something, and she has like a 18-year-old daughter, and she applies for a job as a 26-year-old. And
what, the 18-year-old was, or the 38-year-old?
38-year-old.
Okay, yeah.
And she gets the job, so she has to pretend to be in her 20s again.
That's not Hilary Duff, is it?
No.
Okay, I was
Duff.
like...
Surprisingly, Hilary Duff is only 28. I thought she's been around so long. I thought she'd be
actually, yeah,
in her late 30s.
I
so
thought
she's
she'd be
playing
early
her
30s.
friend in the show.
Oh,
And,
is it good? You enjoyed it?
No,
The show's not
I
good?
still enjoyed it as a binge. It's just a dumb binge show
Well, yeah,
to not
you've got to have those shows. Like
have on while you're browsing Twitter.
Mine's Jane the Virgin. That's my like binge show. It's like that.
But yeah, you're sitting the whole time, and the woman they get, who's 38, and I think is in her 40s in real life, but because I guess it started shooting a couple of years ago, probably when she was 38. And the funny thing is, she actually looks probably older than that. She probably looks like she's in her 40s, but she's not in a bad way. She just looks super mature, like a mature woman. She's like, she's a Hollywood actress, so she's perfectly well toned, and
she still looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're sitting there, it's one of those, it's a weird thing because she's playing a twist screen, and you're like, and they admit it in the show, like everyone's like, wow, you look surprisingly aged for 28 or whatever she's meant to be.
She's like, yes.
And she's like, oh yeah, I went to India for like 5 years on a spiritual retreat, and I got too much sun. Anyway, it's a weird concept, but I like it. I like the one. It's a terrible show, but I like it when a character's sort of stuck in a lie and they have to build this whole new life around it, and it kind of creates this bubble of a world, and obviously people from their previous life have to come in and mess stuff up.
Yes, actually, yeah, I quite like those shows. Like shows. I've spoken about Crazy Ex-Girlfriend before as well. That's kind of, I mean, not as bad as that, but like the whole thing about her moving to town. She did move for that guy, but she's had to create this entire lie as to why she actually moved to town, and all this stuff. Like, yeah, so she's had to live around that, and it just doesn't make sense sometimes. Or she lies about other shit and gets herself in trouble like all the time. Yes, so I quite like those shows because I think it's because I can remove myself and be like, oh my god, just tell the fucking truth, like save yourself the stress. Yeah. So it puts that into perspective for me whenever I consider doing that. I'm just like, no, that's too stressful. Just tell the truth.
But I have that one stupid thing in which I hate. The one thing I hate about those stories is like, the person they fell in love with at the end finds out and is like, oh my god, I can't believe you told this one lie. How can I ever trust you again? And the writers do that as pure conflict generation. Yeah. And but and then of course they're excused, but everything else I told you the truth. It was just my name that I changed, or it was just my age that I changed. I hate
that, yeah. And
that's totally true. If someone lied about one little thing that wasn't actually like like a stat. If you're changing a stat, basically.
But I guess it depends on the stat, though, doesn't it? What's it for?
I mean, if you're a guy, you fell in love with this woman and realize that she's only going to be fertile for another 3 or 4 years, and you were hoping to marry her and have kids, I would understand. But if you're just having a very casual relationship, does it really matter if she still is banging hot?
Well, not in James's books, everybody. It doesn't matter. You can lie. You can have a different name. Hey, James, this might not be my real name.
That's okay.
How would you feel?
Wouldn't mind.
Okay, then. That's good to know. I'm glad I wouldn't lose your trust, you know?
The only time someone's sort of lied to me in sort of like a relationship that was actually bad was I think I've talked about in the podcast before that someone lied about the things they liked to impress me.
Oh, actually, I don't think you have.
And I definitely had a negative reaction to that because I kind of like, I mean, if you're pretending just to be someone different just to impress someone and you're not actually that person, eventually it's gonna come out that, oh, right, we don't actually enjoy doing the same things because you've just been doing these things that I thought would just impress me and you don't actually like it, and that's just not nice. That's not a healthy relationship.
Maybe we have talked about that because I remember saying something like, you know, everybody at the beginning of dating someone doesn't lie, but maybe if they have a slight interest in something that the other person really likes might, you know, make a bigger deal of it than they would normally to be like, look at our connection. But yeah, I think if you're going out of your way to specifically lie about things that you don't even like, then you're going to get yourself in trouble, aren't you? And why would you want to be around somebody that when you don't have like any sort of like, I mean, you could still want to be around that person. Like, you don't have to have that many common interests. You could be chalk and cheese as long as that worked for you. But then why lie about it? Just be like, okay, obviously that doesn't mesh with how I think or what you think, you know?
That actually perfectly leads to
the topic of the week. Hey.
Yes, how much is too much to have in common with someone in a relationship?
How much is too much? Yeah, I don't think... how do you quantify that, James? There's no...
Well, that's the topic, isn't it?
I know, but how do I explain that? A little bit? Yes. Like, how do you want me to explain that? You could... I don't know. Okay, well, if we put it this way, I don't think I could date somebody who was identical to me. Like, you know, it's good to have interests, but if they're exactly the same as me, then I wouldn't have things to learn from them, say, and vice versa, or learn about, you wouldn't be able to learn about new things that they might like and you never know you liked, or, you know, that kind of stuff. That's part of the fun, I think, is when they think differently to you, then there's that bit of unpredictability that they might suggest something that's out of the box that you would enjoy, or, you know, vice versa. You can do things for them that are different. Whereas when you think the same, it's so predictable. Be like, oh, I was just about to do that. Or, you know, like, you want to have the commonality for sure, because there's going to be something, but...
What are things that you like doing alone?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, things that you...
Because if you have something in common in those areas...
Yeah.
I like going to movies alone. I do not like going...
Do you?
Unless it's a comedy, I do not like going to...
Yeah, okay. But
even a significant other.
Well, that's because film's your thing. So, yeah, I get that. I'm cool either way. I like going to the cinema by myself or with someone else.
Do you think that would be a deal breaker if I asked a girl that we're going out with that, look, this is not a comedy. I want to see this by myself. I don't want to go with you.
Well, if you'd planned on, like, if you just said, I'm going to the movies, but, like, it's different if you plan to go to the movies and then you decide that you want to see this other film that's not a comedy and you leave her there. That's like, okay, bye. Like, that's not cool. But
that's one thing you can be honest about. You can say, look, I don't go to movies with anyone else unless it's a comedy.
Yeah, that's a rule.
Do you think that's a deal breaker?
No, I wouldn't think it's a deal breaker. But anybody that thought it was a deal breaker obviously wouldn't be the one for you. You know, like, that would just be like, well, fuck off then. You don't.
Now, if it's a movie at home, maybe on TV, probably doesn't really matter.
Well, yeah, you're not going to... Well, that might be a deal breaker if you're at home and then you were like, can you please leave the room?
But in this day and age,
this movie?
You know, if you're sitting in bed, both got iPads with your headphones on, you can watch different things.
No, you can, but I just mean that if you're like in the lounge room and you're like, can you please leave? Because I want to watch this by myself.
Yeah.
That's a bit weird. Like, just give me a moment. What are you watching? Porn? Nope. Just this movie that I don't like other people, but that's weird. There's
still plenty of shows that I think You know, I could watch like that show Younger, which was with someone, because it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I probably couldn't watch Mad Men with.
So
maybe
that's your you time.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, it just depends. So, okay, well, in your opinion then, how much is too much?
Well, I wouldn't want much in common at all.
You like the whole opposites attract thing?
Yeah. Because that's the best. Yeah, I find that you spend too much time with someone, then you realize that you've got nothing to talk about, do you? Because you've done everything together. Yeah,
no, that's true. And I mean, yeah, I've done the opposite thing, but we did we still had like certain things that we enjoyed, the common ground. But for the most part, like in terms of personality and stuff like that, we were on opposite ends of the scale. And I mean, I dated this person for 2 years.
Yeah.
So, and it was like, for the most part, it was really good. So, you know, I don't think it's...
But you had, how much in common did you have with them?
A bit, like in terms of music, probably, because we're both musical. But besides that, you know, we didn't really have much else in common. Like our personalities were very different, but the way we interacted was good. So it worked in that sense anyway. And yeah, so we're together for like 2 years.
Always for me, and this is why I'll never ever be married or in a serious relationship, would be like the biggest deal breaker I have with someone is their sort of personality brings out the worst in you.
That doesn't bring out the worst in you.
That they do bring out the worst in you. Like the things that you feel like, for example, if there's someone who's, you know, like I probably am a very introverted person. I'm not sure I could.
Not with that Hawaiian shirt on, James. You're telling me lies. But
no,
yeah.
But the whole Hawaiian shirt is a big lie, isn't it? This is my protest against my own introvertedness.
Well, exactly.
It attracts unwanted attention. That forces me to deal with it.
It's a good tactic.
Things. Yeah, so it's like if I'm feeling like, you know, I'm an introverted person, I'm like, oh, I don't want to go out.
Yeah.
And you get to someone who also doesn't like that, so it's just like, well, you just sit around the house all the time and you sort of enjoy it, but it doesn't bring out the best in you. Then that has to be a deal breaker, even if you really enjoy doing that, but it doesn't make you a better person.
Yes. No. Oh, definitely. I 100% agree.
You know what I mean? Like, especially, you know, I talk about I'm looking for a muse, and the muse is that person where it's like, okay, I got to test out this camera, you know, or these lenses because I think I want to use them in a film. It's just like, hey, well, do you want to take some photos of me and we can test it out? And it's like, oh, suddenly I'm actually, rather than something that's not a chore, now becomes fun. They're sort of, you know, they say yes to things rather than no to things, you know?
Yeah. No, I think so. Like, but it's having that realization that they're not making you a better person as well. Like, some people can't recognize that.
Well, I'm not saying like they make you suddenly turn you from a bad person to bring. They just draw the best bits of you out.
Yeah. Yes, but that's what I'm saying. You just said that they, like, there's the opposite effect too. But some people don't realize that that's what's happening to them.
Yeah.
That's what they're being like turned into, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, same with, but everyone obviously has both capabilities when it comes to, in general life. It doesn't have to be influenced by somebody, but when you hang around with somebody enough, you know, that's it. You want to be around somebody all the time that is going to bring out those parts in you that are better, you know, because you have both of the sides to do so. But yeah.
So do you think if you're someone and you're quite sort of happy with them, but you feel like they're not, whenever you have some idea about how I can be a better person, they don't support you directly?
Yeah, no, that would be a deal breaker.
Yeah, even though you're quite comfortable in the relationship.
Yeah, well, it's more the support thing because, and I think as I've gotten older, that's probably something that I notice more too, even within my friendship groups. Because it's the same sort of, I've had this conversation with someone before. When getting into, mostly with commitment phobic people, when you get into a relationship, you shouldn't see it as like you're now tied down forever.
Yeah.
It's, because when you've got really good friends, for example, a lot of those good friends will do for you what a significant other might, like build you up, support you, help you through crisis situations, like all that kind of stuff is what a partner can provide for you and more. You get the intimacy and whatever else. But, and that's not a bad thing at all. But I think for me, with those friends that I've started noticing the friends that don't do stuff like that for me and how it makes me feel. And I think that's painted a picture for me what would be a deal breaker in that sense in a significant other, because oh God, I hate that term. But because that would be a deal breaker for me, not having that support or being condescending whenever, like you can have an opinion for sure that might not agree, because otherwise it'd be boring if you had a partner that constantly, I can't stand those couples are like that. We're like, we never fight. I'm like, how can you never fight? Are you the same fucking person? Like you don't have to fight and throw things, but you can I'm like, do you never disagree? Do you never have like arguments? Like you don't have to hate each other. I think people have this whole thing that if you argue with somebody, it's just going to create, this hatred, and eventually they're just going to break up because they've argued too much. It's like, no, you can have a discussion and an argument and then be cool. Like it's just how you present it. That is the
Do you ever enjoy fighting?
Sometimes. Not like, but this is what I mean. I'm not talking about like I won't go and start a fight for the sake of starting a fight. I mean, I enjoy discussion. I enjoy debate. So if they've got a different opinion to mine, provided they don't just walk around like I'm the king and I'm correct and you're wrong. Like if they have a debate, I quite enjoy a debate. I wouldn't say I like arguing. I don't like getting to a fight for the sake of a fight. That's just a waste of energy. But a debate, a healthy debate, I think is good.
I feel like there's probably a lot of romantic comedies that are based around the idea those two people, they're always fighting, and then eventually they realise that they're meant to be.
Yeah, but that's pre-relationship.
I think after relationship, like Harry met Sally once they get together, they won't fight anymore. Like it's just the sexual tension causing the fights.
Well, then that's just a bit boring, isn't it? Once that disappears, that's probably what got them going.
I have a sort of fantasy about someone that you can just absolutely just scream and shout at without realizing that you're hurting each other.
Yeah.
Or not hurting each other. Obviously.
Well, yeah.
If you are hurting and not realizing it.
But yeah, I think being able to express yourself in that way and still respect the other person is attractive. And also because there's certain things that you can push someone's button as well when you're with someone. And if you purposely avoid that, I find that admirable too, because you know they could use it on you whenever. Yeah. So that pisses me off too when people argue and you can hear them using things that would have pissed the other person off, but they do it anyway. And you're like, okay, well, you were purposely trying to upset me then, or upset that person. So it's, I don't know. Get attracted by weird things. I get attracted. I'm attracted to observant people because I just find it such a rarity in men. I like all that kind of stuff.
So did you answer the question of what do you like to do alone?
What do I like to do alone? I feel like I do everything alone. To be honest, no, I really do. You laugh, but I feel like I do everything by myself.
Yeah.
Because I've just established that over the past few years. It's not so much, I don't mind it. Like I wouldn't walk around and be like, I must now do everything by myself. So that's why it's a bit hard to be like, what do I specifically like doing by myself? You know what I like doing by myself? Food shopping. I know that's a really random, but like I find it really therapeutic. What else do I like? Yeah, probably shopping and stuff. I don't really, it depends on what I'm shopping for. Like if it's just like a browsing shopping day, then I don't know what I'm buying, then okay. But if I have to go to the shops or something, I don't really. Yeah, I just feel like I do so much by myself, so I can't really answer that question. I haven't been annoyed so much as to what I don't like having people around for because I haven't had that opportunity in a while. So, I mean, yes, and then it changes some days. Some days I'll be like, I really just want to go down and get a coffee by myself and just sit there.
Yeah.
And some days it'll be like, no, I want someone around. So it just depends on the day for me. I'm sure there are things that I like doing by myself that I just can't think of right now.
Once I had a friend, and that was our entire relationship. Was just by coincidence, a couple of times we ran into each other at the supermarket, and we just walked around and chatted, and eventually we're like, well, so what time do you normally come? And we were going to meet up like every week.
Oh,
and it was
that's a bit cute.
Quite fun. And then, but then she moved south of the river, and I was like, I never saw her again.
Did you exchange numbers?
Oh yeah, but it was there was no, completely different lives. Like once that opportunity to hang out, you would have to artificially create a situation. It just wouldn't be the same.
True. Yeah. Oh, that's a shame.
Isn't that funny about Perth? I don't know what people in other cities have a similar thing, but when someone moves to the other side of the river, that's it. They might as well be living in a different city.
It's true though. It's so far away. Like they're talking about doing girls' night on the weekend.
Tanya and I actually live on the other side of it, and it was this podcast we never would have met in real life.
That's not true. You live where I study.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
So we could have run into each other. I don't.
Then I met you and said, "Oh, where do you live?" And you went South River. I'm like, oh, well.
Yeah, and then we were friends no longer.
Future if
yeah, we were friends no longer. No, well, that's true, but we're not on opposite sides. Like the girls that want to have a girls' night, her house is in Ocean Reef, and for me that is like opposite end, and I have work the next morning, which is fine. But still, I'm like, God, you also live so fucking far away. Like, from my place to your place isn't far. That's nothing compared to going to Ocean Reef.
Yeah, if they're right off the freeway, it's not that big a deal.
No,
but it's...
Yeah, it was just a bit like, oh, God, I can't be bothered. But, I'll go. I just have to be at work for 8:30. Back on the south side of the river where my normal trip from work to home is 5-minute drive. So... Yeah. But yes. So I'm having a birthday party in a couple of weeks.
Yep. You're inviting the listeners to this podcast?
No. But I need some help for it. Do you have any? I'm taking suggestions for themes. Give me 2. Go.
I had this idea for a sack party.
That we all wore sacks.
Yeah, but you have to be trying to be really creative. Or a pillowcase.
Okay. That could be interesting.
Yeah, and maybe have an award for the best creative use of a sack.
The best sack. Ball sack. That could be one.
If you're going to wear someone's ball sack, that'll be weird.
No, you could dress up as a ball sack.
Yeah. Well, you're just giving away ideas for your prize.
Okay, that's one. What else?
A colour.
Okay. So you have to dress in that one colour, the whole thing. The whole outfit would be a colour? Or...
This party was actually quite a success. It was a red party. And
you mean I pick a colour?
In red, and we just had red cocktails. We even had a red beer.
Oh, that's cool.
Like not artificially coloured, like it was a really rich red amber ale.
I quite like that. I also like my idea where if you're dressing up as a colour, everything you're wearing has to be said colour. So if you were going to come dressed in blue, everything has to be blue. And then everyone will just look like Skittles.
Yeah.
At my party.
Skittle party.
A Skittle party. That could be fun.
I got some really hot pictures from that party. Because people really...
Hot pictures?
Yeah, red I think just inspires...
True, sexual.
Yeah.
That's true. I'd be all about the red lipstick and them red heels in the at a party like that. Jelly shots. Red jelly shots.
So, yeah. Themes for your party? I don't know.
Well, you helped. You
should have a Hawaiian shirt party, then I don't have to do any work.
I was just thinking that. I was like, I need to create something. Are you just going to come in a Hawaiian shirt anyway?
Yeah, so.
My serious question. I actually asked you this at the beginning of the podcast and you cut me off.
Yeah.
Serious question.
Oh, you did. I remember that.
How many Hawaiian shirts do you own?
I don't know.
Like, if I opened your wardrobe Is it just an array of Hawaiian shirts?
No, I have two washing baskets. One's the dirty one, one's the clean one, and I just pull out whatever happens.
Yeah, but are they full of Hawaiian shirts?
Yeah.
Like all your shirts are Hawaiian?
Pretty much. I have a heap. I have a whole... My cupboard is full of just clothing used for films. And I'm actually going to throw that all out soon. So there is other stuff in there, but the actual stuff that I wear, which takes up one corner of my cupboard, is all Hawaiian.
So would you say...
And my work clothes.
Would you say that like you have a handful of normal clothes and the rest are Hawaiian shirts? In like that kind of balance, or...
No, it's pretty much all Hawaiian. It's effectively all Hawaiian.
Okay.
I think it's like one shirt that my mum bought me for Christmas. She's like, "Well, we need something in case you can't wear." Absolutely,
are because there's occasions where you can't wear a Hawaiian
what
shirt.
occasion?
What do you wear to work?
Well, okay, yeah, I have my work uniform. You wouldn't believe, if I'm not in a Hawaiian shirt, you don't get to see this other half of me. I'm in a fluorescent yellow vest for work. So I'm always highly visible.
Hi, Biz. What can you not wear a Hawaiian shirt to? A baptism.
Probably still wear it.
Wedding.
Probably still wear it, unless you're
a funeral.
Unless it's like you're part of the wedding party and you get given stuff to wear.
A funeral.
Yep. Actually, again, it depends. If it's one of my friends, yes. If it's
I guess.
If it's like my mum's mum, as in my grandmother, or whatever, then no, I wouldn't, because my mum wouldn't let me. And any situation where someone decides for you, like work.
Yes. Well, yeah. I just think surely that there's places where you couldn't wear your Hawaiian shirt. A job interview.
Still wear a job interview.
No, you wouldn't.
It's a good conversation starter.
But like a business, like office business.
Well, I'd never apply for those jobs, so.
No, true. Actually,
it's not like you're wearing a t-shirt like some schmuck. You've got a collar.
It's still collared and buttoned up, people.
Yeah.
The Hawaiian shirt.
You can wear a tie on it if you want.
Do you own any long sleeve Hawaiian shirts?
No.
Do they exist?
No.
I think that would be fabulous if they existed. Just a long sleeve Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah.
For winter time.
I get too hot for long sleeve shirts.
Yeah, but in winter time.
Yeah, I would never wear it. Because it's either I don't get the point of long sleeve shirts. We're not living in like Paris or. I mean, I guess in Melbourne I was fairly active, but even Melbourne it was freezing cold. I better get going.
Yeah, it starts in 20 minutes. So you can let us know how that was next time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tanya, where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me on Instagram at TANCHE_XI, or you can find me on Twitter at Tanya, TANIA. AALIS_.
You can find me at the guy called Tom. You can find gimmerish stuff at gimmerish.com.
Yeah. So my musical's coming up. If anyone wants to go to a musical.
Where do you go to get tickets?
You can go onto the Facebook page for Principal Academy and the link will be on there. And then you have to call them. I know it's a pain in the ass. But if you like Footloose the musical and you want to relive some great songs and come see me sing, then it's going to be an awesome show. So,
is my favourite person in it?
No, actually. She's not.
Oh, no.
Because she's...
I don't even remember her name. I feel bad.
Olivia. Yeah, she's not in it. I'm sorry. But the rest of us are. I know you'll be singing along. I'll just see you in the row.
I mean, I've seen the movie, but I don't remember any singing in it, so I won't know the lyrics, right?
Well, there's no singing in the movie, but the songs that they released. So Footloose.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Holding Out for a Hero is a song on the soundtrack, and Let's Hear It for the Boy.
Mm-hmm.
And good. Almost Paradise. I think that's the other one. But people don't really hear that, but they put it in there basically to be a loved-up ballad in the show. So, and then obviously they've written other songs musically for the show. So, Saturday the 15th of October.
Sounds excellent.
Cool. We'll see you there.
All right. Bye.
Bye.